Going live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Just trying to readjust everything through position locations. It's unbelievable how I keep traveling, timelines, time interference, location. It's all about changing atmospheres, and I don't have sequence location to its conditions. So it's pretty hard for me to change, the atmosphere change to its avatar system. So the mind has to get in its collaboration location to its conditions. But like I said, I told you there'd be class today. I wasn't sure if I was going to get in between 10:30, 10:30, or 11. So we left at 8 o'clock in the morning. We got here just in time, avoiding the traffic to its conditions. So welcome everybody to Nalinco. This is Nalinco. So it's amazing how I move around sys locations. Now I put energy grids in highline center, force fields around the position locations. So there's a force field here, here, here in the back, blocking everything out, position locations to its calculations. There's basically high system locations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 position line centers. Okay, in this place right now, but it's got small rooms in position. It's very condensed. It's like Valley de Bravo, where everything is like small steps. It's like conditions at San Juan, where there's some stone chips. But it's amazing how you are not at home because it changes everything, right? The stones and everything through its heritage and everything through its ancestry. It's amazing when you travel through these things. But for me, because I'm already there and I've seen it already, the physical line center is just getting the adaptation locations and the now system locations. It's already lived its timelines. It's living its timelines in its physical system. That's where it gets confusing through mind interference, because you have to understand the program locations. The clocking locations, the triangulation line conditions is incredible, especially when you get up in the morning, right? And you notice again, my voice has changed. It's more on a computer. So get used to that, right? So it's all calculated, modified. So today I thought we'd go through the triangulation, modify signals into all level positions. We're going to travel through 3, 6, 9 platforms, but in a different universe. Okay, so you're not going to be in the universe line center. You're not going to be in the ground position locations of your Earth. We're going to be another universe line center. Okay, so we're going to travel in position location. So it's kind of like time leap, time jump. You have to know what it's like actually going through. You know how you go through a hula hoop. Goes this way, goes this way, goes this way, goes this way. It's all about understanding how you can go through different ways and forms, right? So you kind of like get dizzy for a second, and then you have to realize, I'm going through a triangle. And I say, I'm going through another triangle and a different angle. Because you understand the position locations where it comes into the sun and everything to the moon, right? Sun here, moon here, right? There's a flux capacitor right there, locations. It's amazing how it comes into these locations. So I thought we'd do that today. I think it'd be a lot more fun, especially for the new viewers when they come into my channel. They get a better understanding how to use the platitude visualized centers when they go through triangles. Okay, actually go through a triangle and then go through another triangle, go through another triangle. So each triangle you're going through portal locations, right? Different dimensions, different time. But you're in the same universe, but you're not in your universe, you're in somebody else's universe, which means that you've crossed over. Okay, so we're going to go into the L line center. It's like flipping the coin, right? So you flip the other coin system, you're on the other side position, right? Because there's so many universe line centers, there's so many timelines. And in space, there is no past, present, and future, only the now. So this is where you guys get into more position locations. So when you're actually traveling through these triangles, you're in the current location, right? Which is amazing. There's no past of triangles. There's no future of triangles. There's only the now, going through the position location through its calculations. So it's like me taking you wherever in position to that timeline, sets its sequence, sets its codes, sets its plateaus, sets its information system to its circle location to its conditions. It's incredible when you travel through this, right? So, and as you can see, what does it look like, right? The shape, look at the shape. See the shape? See the 2 line centers? Everything has a center. This is a center, right? This is east, this is west, this is north, this is south. Cool, right? So that's how you travel, right? This is a shape. Everything is a shape. You are a shape. You're not outlined as a shape. You're shadow of a shape. So what holds the shelf? Books. right? So, and books are in chronological order. See, just like your data processing line systems, your central line interference is all in order position, right? Organization to that position line system. It's incredible how you come into that calculations. Everything's a shape. My watch is a shape. Octagon, hexagon, threathegon, right? Tratheon, right? A tratheon gon. It's all levels of shapes. The geometric line center is positional locations all levels of your Merkaba line system. You have to learn how to use more platforms when it comes into 369. Okay, 5 to minutes, we get started. Make sure you have your water. How's everybody doing? Okay, just go through the list very quick. Space Monk, how you doing? Laura, how's it going? Nikki, how's it going? I will be going on TikTok afterwards if you guys want to be realigned, readjust, refocused, reconnected. All right. Alicia, Airbender, Sam, Chris, Devon, John, Corporal, Terry, Michael, Jill, Tier. It's good that you guys got your emojis intact so we can identify who everybody is in sequence. That's great. Excellent. Fantastic. Make sure you're grounded. All assist locations. Helps you open all the line centers. All right. Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, that reminds me of WWF. I don't like WWE. I like WWF. Back in the olden days, you know? All right. So everything's in sequence location. All right. So I'll just show you how triangles are set up. So when you see these triangles, it's knowing how and what you see is calculations of the now. So you guys are going to go through these triangles. Your body has to get used to position locations coming into different shape locations to know exactly what it's like to be a shape of a shelf or actually be the wall, okay, or be a planter or anything positioned to all levels of grounds, how to go through windows, how to basically jump over position. So you can set the same structure, but you're the avatar. The avatar can do anything to dimensional setting. It can reshift, reanalyze, reconnect, refocus. The physical line system just has to understand the connection of what the avatar is doing in its time sequence. It's pretty incredible you do these things to practice locations. All right, so I have this plateau set up. There's going to be 3 plateaus. First one is a green line center. Now you have to understand the position location, the tapestry in the back. See that? See that line center went. Did you see that? A line across. So it knows exactly where the computer is set up. Position line system, location to position. Now it's very confusing. See the XT1000 line center? See, it doesn't look in order, but it is, right? So you have to understand sonar, you have to understand swirls, you have to understand triangles, you have to understand position locations. My phone was going through high level, right? So it's like, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Understand how to go through all different levels of different shape positions, but they're all triangles and pyramids because that's what triangles are, right? So nothing is really a shape, is it? Everything is a portal. Pretty cool, eh? So when you understand that position locations, you can travel anywhere you want position, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the course locations to everybody, 3 observers. The observers, that new ones that come into position line centers, make sure you drink your water. Make sure you're on your own. Make sure you don't talk to anybody. If you need to talk to somebody, after class, because it disrupts all levels of travel. It's very important you stay at the grounds, drink your water, stay in your position, okay? Afterwards, everything starts connecting. The avatar is waking up. Oh, great, electrical line center. Oh, wow, triangle line interference, triangulation line condition. Whoa, times pi, times square, square root. Catch on, quick, catch on, catch on, catch on. So the memory gets stronger, the mind gets stronger, the application gets stronger, the avatar understands more sequence, understands more power, understands more grounds, understands more atmospheres. It understands its eye receptor interference and everything through its connections. The eyes, the ears, and the voice is everything through command. Okay? So it's true to understand how to travel through all position locations when it comes into triangles or anything through pyramid line system. It's Pretty incredible to see these things, right? But everything is teleportation. Everything is teleportation. Just have to know that, right? Here's calculations. So if you look at the triangle, you can see what the XT1000 is doing, right? To its laser. It's setting up a new triangle line interference. Now, it's got a collaboration location, but it's overriding. See, it's overriding. So it's overlapping. Lacing lines, guys, lacing lines. The circle line center is its swirl position location. So try to understand the sonar, right? Now it's blue. What is blue? Blue is the voice grid. So use sonar to your tracker system. This is how the allocate time system opens up all levels of the avatar of travel through its triangle locations. All right. So operation to position line centers. Everything the observer is going to go through the avatar. They're all going to go through position location to Orion's belt. You're going to go through the gateway line interference. You're going to get to know more of yourself, your memory. Everything in the GFAs are at position locations. They're going to go through the triangle line centers. They're going to go through all position location and calculations. They're going to go through the XT1000 line system. They're going to go through the swirls. They're going to time jump, time leap, and vortex location. The vortex design line center is its triangulation location to its conditions, right? So it's all about understanding how to travel through the clocking of times pi, trifecta, vector core, quadrant level. A quadrant level is a tunnel line center. Once we travel the position location of triangles, we can understand position locations, core location, right? So it doesn't look in chronological order, does it? But it is. It's all set up. So this is how it comes in position, but it's all through teleportation, right? So it's incredible how you travel through these things. Code through locations at all levels, right? The GFA center for the GFLs and rebellion. Set them up in triangle line centers into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 30,000 triangle line centers. 30,000 triangle line centers, overlap interference, override, and position line conditions. Get them travel through the XT1000 line interference, 1, 2, 3, in plateau, into position of 4, in circle location to a swirl line system. Okay? 20 minutes, have fun. So it's in universal line interference. So you kind of like time jump. So you feel like you're in a triangle and that triangle is spinning you around. So once we get in calculations, I'll keep my finger on point location. So it's kind of like a navigation signal. So every time I change my finger redirects line system location to its position. Now this reverse line centers to all levels of background interference line position, opens up all channel line conditions to its avatar system to its teleportation line conditions, right? So when you come into calculation line conditions, you extremely understand position. All right, so we're going to go through high line center interference. We're going to go through blue. All right, so blue is set up to the position line center. Now, understanding vector core is communication cycles. You can add things in rotation, right? Knowing exactly how you travel through 369 platforms. You start off with position, right? Now we're going to travel through it. All right, so we travel through it, right? Okay, so we set up in the center position, set up another circle, right? This is when you come into atom rotation to its position. You go from here to here, right? And then we line signal. We have to get into the tube position location, right? See the tube? All right. So we come into a rainbow activation line center, interference line position location and calculations. Coloration change. Let's go from blue to all levels of yellow. Okay, synchronizing line center, secure line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 position line centers, rotation interference. All right, so you're going to travel through these triangle locations, right? Sequence interference, program setting. So it's all about how to set up structure of a hologram interference. Now, it's pretty amazing when you actually see, yes, exactly, Joe, it's the synopsis. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So when you're structuring things, you put it all together, right? It line signals everything through triangle location. See how it's coming in position? See how the box line center is in line center? So we graph interference. We set up a new all graph interference line center, rainbow graph location. And sequence interference, right? So it's amazing how it sets a signal location to its calculations. Now we channel down through another coloration line channel. This is interesting. So I want you guys to get familiar how to go through different platforms, how the avatar can go through different shapes. go through circles, go through lines, go through a diamond, go through a quartz, go through an emerald, go through a ruby. It's all emotion to its intelligence, coloration of change. You should be able to merge into anything and become everything through travel of the avatar. The avatar understands the receptors, it understands its realm, it understands its ear sequence, and it understands its voice grid pattern, its position location to its calculations. All right, so let's go into the brown circle line center. Graph interference position locations, right? Back in the center position. Okay, now we're going to swirl, swirl, swirl in position location. All right. So we're going to channel, okay, over to the outlight center. All right. So we go in a position like this. Security line defense comes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't want to put you any higher because you're not used to going to higher levels of atmosphere line position location and calculations. All right. So you're channeling through all of the positions of brown. It's the coloration line center to what? The earth perception, right? The community. Okay. Your navigation location is Mother Earth. Travel position location is its coloration of change. So it's incredible how you travel through that to all position locations, right? So we're going to set up another triangle line center in position locations. We'll set it in the opposite system location, right? Okay, so illumination of the graph. Go back in the center position line center. Got the triangle location. See that? Now we're going to go through the center tip point in position line center. Okay. Okay, so we're going to line stream in position locations. See how it changes the system. All right, so we're going to go into all levels of the circle location, back in center position. All right, we're going to travel right through the center. Travel right through the center. See that? See how it's set up, position location? All right, so this is how you put triangles in shapes to anomalies of space, the hologram structure of buildings. How everything is calculated and modified in your dimensional setting. You get a better understanding how to navigate your GPS once you get in your avatar of its simulation, people. Okay, that's how you set up signal location to its calculations. All right, so graph interference line positions. We're going to set up another triangle line center, 3 position location to its calculation. Right, see that? All right, so open sequence location to its calculations. Right, so my finger is guiding everything back in triangle. So we got 3 position of triangles, right? Those are going to go right in the center position. Traveling right through all these triangles, going right through here, and it travels. See how it travels? You take all those into here. It travels, right? So you're traveling through these things. You're trying to extend the vortex. You're trying to extend the time lock. You're trying to extend the time leap. You're trying to extend the vortex locations to its triangulation location to its connections, all through triangles. Okay? So, and remember, every single time I'm doing these things, it's always in the current location, but all I'm doing is changing the frame. Just changing the frame. That's all I'm doing. So it's incredible when you do these things, the calculations. So we go through a whole different level of coloration pattern. We start from that line system. Okay, so once we come into calculations, we can bring an XT1000 line center in position line system. There's an XT1000 right here. It's coming in sequence, right? Sets up a forward position line center to its position, right? Scans the center point of all beginning, right? Sets a sonar line interference. Signals come out in position line system, allocate time. All right, so zip, zap, zoom, right? Out through equation, see? So it sets up a whole new anomaly, which is a new shape. It's interesting coming in position. So let's go into the black line center. Now, black line center, it doesn't matter the coloration, because black on black, you can't see space, but black on white or white on black, you can see, or anything the outline system. As long as you stand illumination of graph interference is the program location to its digitalized system, which is all levels of the universe line system that you're in through its galaxy locations, right? So I just wanted to show you when you go to higher levels of travel through the navigation location and avatar, you can reach higher points of triangles of geometry location, because that's all space-time is, right? If you go through the eye circle locations of anything in that position, you keep going back, you're going to see the geometry of you. You're going to see the calculation of you. You're going to see string theory of you. You're going to see the particles of you, photons, electrons, neutrons, how everything comes together, position, location, and calculations, right? So as we change position, we're going to go back into the center position line center, okay? So we start here in position, all right? We're here, right? Because the XT1000 came in, knowing exactly what you're doing with the position. Before you travel anywhere else, the XT1000 comes in and scans and making sure that you understand what you're doing through a higher level of triangles. Okay, so you come in position locations to a tetrahedron. Okay, there's a tetrahedron line system. Now it comes into position locations where you can do it from all level system, northwest, south, and east. Calculation modification line conditions, right? So that's an H line center interference, right? So it comes into all levels of a spider op. Okay, it's pretty awesome how you see these things in triangles. So this looks like a spider, right? It's amazing how we set things up through plasma center. See the spider? All right, there's a spider there. All right, so the spider set up the graph line center. Now it's all about understanding how to set up shapes for the XT1000 so they can basically teleport. It's like a helicopter, you know, it's set, right? Same with the XT1000. It needs a plateau. It needs a base. It needs its command system. That's all done through shape locations, right? So when you come in that position locations, an XT1000 comes in, right? There's an XT1000 right here. Looks at the graph that you just finished doing. See, it's at the top. It's coming in, right? It scans the whole operation right through the center, okay? It modifies and checks everything position locations, making sure everything through triangle line center is its position locations, right? You can't make any mistakes with the XT system when you're setting up new shapes or anything through geometry location to its connections, especially when you're in spider op, okay? So it's using your spidey senses, right? It's all using all your sense locations, your inhibitors, your enhancers, high line interference location, your eye receptor interference, and your receptacle lines. It's all position locations to its direction. So once that's set up, it comes in, scans out, up again, right? Goes back to the sun, goes back to the moon. That's all the XT1000 does. And back into the sun, because the sun's the portal, goes back to the moon program line center, and then it goes back into a belt. So basically, everything is traveled through Orion's belt, through past, present, future, right? But the current line center is the XT1000s are all in position locations to all timelines. It only exists in the now. XT1000s don't live in the past. They don't live in the future. Only in the now of your current location, which is all timeline sequence. That's the calculation modifications when you come to all circuit line centers, especially when you're calculating all levels of a spider op interference. Rotation center, position, location, and calculations. Right? You see it? See the stealth? See the stealth? That's a stealth. See? Just because it's here doesn't mean it's here, right? So you have to understand how it's built all through structure. There's the stealth, right? So it's very, very fast. So know exactly what you're drawing is the most important thing. The XT1000 comes in so many plateaus. So we can set up a plasma line wall in position. So it's like a web, right? Sets up a web center. Really cool. And then synchronous interference, it goes into the center position. There we go. It's all set up, right? Pretty cool, right? It's like the membrane of the cloud, because that's what it is. So this is all about understanding that setting up a new brain frequency line center to new universe locations of a new lock system to position to a whole new level, okay, of its connections, right, to its mainframe, right, to your cloud. So it's another cloud system. You're in another universe. You got to set up a whole another geometry location. And the XT1000s have to scan these things to make sure you know what you're doing when you're higher channel of its avatar to its geometry location operation, to its direction, anything through its division line system. Yes, that is exactly what it is. It's spider cloud. Very good, Jill. All right, so it's amazing how you travel through these, okay? So it's a whole different universe position, whole new brain frequency, whole new collaboration, a whole new vortex, a whole new timeline, a whole new weather, a whole new atmosphere, a whole new avatar. So it high rises the avatar to higher level locations to upgrades. Every time you guys travel, you travel amonglessly on so many levels of upgrade locations. Understand your positions, understand your acquisition system, understand the avatar line system. But when you come into a spider cloud, it's incredible how you see different levels of universal positions, right? So, and it all starts with triangles, right? You can start with triangles. You can even start with something else, right? This is position location, what we saw yesterday, right? So it's all about understanding everything that is set up in sequence. Everything is set up in sequence. You start from this to this, from this to this, right? So this is higher levels of galaxy interference, rotation, position, locations, and calculations to all levels of your avatar, right? This isn't past. Everything I give to you, it's too confusing to say this is the past. The avatar is always in all different timelines, which is the now. So there is no past. So every time I give you something, it's in the now because I'm adding frame, right? So this is not the past of what I've done. This is the now. So if I want to add something, I change something from its avatar system, which is redirection, but it's in the same day location, right? So it's very intense when you travel through direction of time, okay? It's incredible force. Yes, extremely powerful. Now you set up the code signal location to its connections. Let's go through cream line center. Okay, this is a cream. Okay, it's like a caramel. So we go high system locations. It doesn't matter what color you use. The computer has to understand everything, position, location. The avatar understands its timeline, and the XT1000s are on standby, right? So let's go through the blue circle locations of a circle. There it is. There's a circle, right? This is just a circle, right? But it's a swirl. Now, understanding location, it's very powerful. You got 3 line centers, okay? And you got 3 bottom system locations, right? Now, it's amazing how you come together through sequence, okay? Just showing you how powerful it is when you do design. So it's all about when you travel through these things, it's incredible force because it has its position location to its direction. So every single time you travel, you start with only 12. I don't want you guys going to higher line center because you don't understand your position locations of higher positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? You're always going through 12 first, right? Different time, different frequency, different line position. But you're always setting up energy fields. Security line defense is the most important thing. And then I can go through another blue circle location, go in the opposite direction line system, right? Because I know where the sun is, I know where the moon is in position locations calculations, right? So again, you can cross signal, but you have to know what you're doing through position location, right? So it gets more complicated, but it's a lot more fun. And again, you only go through 12, right? So what's 12 times 12? 144, right? Rotation center. Airbender is going to love this. So it's amazing how it sets up all level position line conditions. It's what the avatar is doing through all position to current line interference. Now you split the line system locations, 3 direction interference line positions. Okay, so that you have the calculation location. All right, so in position location, this is the sun. The sun is on balanced security. It doesn't have to be yellow. The sun's not yellow. It's your behavioral line center of where you are in your current location, right? So it's on the red line center, see, with the white tip and interference. Probe locations in the center point, see? So everything through the moon comes in track locations. The moon can be anything positions. Now the moon can be purple. It doesn't have to be blue. It doesn't have to be green. It's what you are through behavioral line center track location, right? So you got the sun, you got the moon, right? Now, see how it's set up? See the sun set up. See how the moon's set up. See, isn't that powerful stuff? So once you calculate high cis line interference, comes in rotation system, down an equation, right? Down an equation, right? Set up the triangle. There's a triangle. Triangle set up position. Now, it's understanding sequence location to its calculations. Modify all level positions of 24 sequence, right? You start off with the 24, right? Now that's where it gets really interesting. 24 to 48 to 72 to 144. Hooah! Crossing signal locations of 12 line centers. Okay, 12 times 12 is 144. There you go. You get it? but you got to start with the 24. You got to start with 48 to 72 to 144. So you're going up through North Line Center, position which all levels its reference of a diamond core position location in its calculations, right? So when you get a position location, you change track centers. This is powerful stuff. Let's go into the red circle oriented system position locations. So red comes in position, communicates with the moon, right? So sets position locations, fluctuation line comes in, signal and interference, right? T line, T graph, force line, communication interference. All right, sets up its own triangle. Sequence interference line position, calculation, modification, line conditions. Sets up whole new ground line center of universal open system. Calculation, modification to its system line conditions, right? Opens up track centers. It's powerful stuff. All right, so we set up the fluctuation line system, right? Three forks, right? Comes into Orion's belt. Now, Orion's belt is set up position, location, and calculations. It's amazing how we come into track line center. Okay, so let's go into all levels of blue. Center position locations of 24. 24 sequence location, top center, right? So 24 is the current locations, right? But with Orion's belt, the avatar has to understand its reference of its past because it's in a different universe, okay? So when you're going into all levels of a different universe line center, you realize, whoa, I'm not on the grounds anymore. That's my perception. I'm in a wholly different timeline. Now you understand the past, the present, and its future of its relation locations. But you always start off with 24, 48, 72, and 144. That puts you position locations to all levels of its diamond core. Yes. There. Northwest, south, and east. So it's very powerful when you set position locations to its calculations, right? So once that's in sequence, it comes down to position line center. Okay, it looks like a stop sign. Four position line centers, the 24 to 48, the 72, and the 144 become all point locations. Now you can set up position line centers because all level system of the sun and the moon is already in track system. It's in calculation modifications, right? Center position location, right? You travel through it. Okay, see that? See the crisscross? So you got one diamond core line center, and you got another diamond core line in its position location. Allocate time system. Right? Right? See that white dot? See that white dot traveling? See that white dot traveling? Where is it? See? What's that? What's that? What is that? What is that? That's a V line. See the V? You see the structure of the V? See how it's upside down? Everything is shapes of travel. You have to learn how to travel through anything through digital board location to its calculations. But it's amazing how it's set up in northwest, south, and east of the 24, 48, 72, and 144 window. 24,000 line center locations per second. Anything to 48,000 miles per second, 72,000 miles per second, or 144,000 per second location is very powerful through dimensional setting, especially when you come into high position line center locations to its universal system. So once you travel to that position locations, you can set up another box channel into the same coloration channel position. This puts you in three realms of activation core line centers, right? So this is where it comes into all level system. Yes. We go into the opposite line system locations. We change the coloration channel. That channel goes into a different coloration pattern. So it goes in one position locations, right? And it goes into another position location. Knowing exactly what you're doing through calculation is the most important thing, all right? You have to know exactly how triangles are going through northwest, south, and east and how it misdirects in all position locations, but it's all in balance of yin and yang. Yes, yin and yang, all through position locations, right? So this is all about understanding what is going to happen with Jupiter and Neptune. This is how it's going to be set up. I'm showing the graph line center, how I'm going to center all position locations, how Neptune affects everything through your ground perception of 5-dimension. Okay? In calculations, all levels of Jupiter. Jupiter position locations, all level connections is in sequence locations of 24, 48, 72, and 144. Okay? So it's amazing how you can see the misdirection locations, but it's all in chronological line system location. One goes this way, one goes the other way. It's the atom rotation and interference, guys. It's true to understand how things are set up. So all travel position locations, all levels of the sun and everything to the moon, and everything through travel location to its high system. See the triangle? See the triangle? Knowing exactly what you're doing with the Allegheny time. See? Isn't that incredible? It's amazing. So it's knowing exactly where to point these things in structure. I'm just showing you amazing, amazing things. What you can do through travel. All right? So it's incredible force. So we're back force line center. This is the now. This is the now. This is the now. Okay. This is the now. The spider cloud. And what's this? Weather. Right? So everything I do is not the past. Everything I do is the now. And if I change it, it's in its current location, which is its changing frame. But it's still in the now of all timeline people. So everything that I see is all levels of the now. Okay? It's too complicated to say what this is and what this is in the past. There's no past. The avatar only stays in all timelines, which is the now. The beautiful thing, though, if it changes its time frequency times frames, it's now in a correlation line conditions to another universal line system. Start in position line conditions from this. You guys know this, right? It's very powerful. AI, position locations, graph line centers, spine interference, three circle location to its connections, right? Looks like a frog, three timelines of clocks equals equation location, right? Butterfly effect, right? XT thousand line positions, sonar line centers, antenna interference, position location calculations. So everything I give you is the now, which is incredible. So it doesn't matter what I do, I know everything in sequence of clocking systems, right? We started off that, right? Looks like a fishbowl. You come into the ground line center, flux power location, center position location, the atom. Then you got everything through the magnetic highway information system location to its calculations. You get into 12, 24, 48, and 72, clocking location to its connections. So it's powerful when you travel position. But I wanted to show you what you can do when you understand sequence to all levels and how to bring Jupiter and Neptune together as one. Hoo-ah. So if that's not a powerful class, how's everybody doing so far? All right, let's see here. Let's see, everybody's going through their triangles, geometry, lines, center locations, geometrics of you, the geometries of you, and the travels of you. Knowing now exactly how to travel to anything, right? It's all positioned for you to understand, right? So once he understands the avatar system, once you understand you can travel through anything through form positions, right? So that's why it's so incredible when you see these things, right? Let's go through different color. Let's go through black system. And I get a little bit of instability here. I get coming back line center. So let's go through blue graph locations. So you got a triangle location in this position. You got a triangle line position location, right? It doesn't matter what you do through calculation. Everything is in chronological order. Now, it doesn't look like much, but when you activate it, then you understand what it is, right? It's confusing to the anomaly. Switches position locations, right? So it's all about understanding how to descramble, energy scramble, and put everything in position line conditions. So you can add things, right? You can add anything through frame positions. You can even add circle locations, right? Point locations of center and everything through formation, right? So it's all about understanding what you're seeing, right? Picasso. So it's all calculated, modified, right? There's the frame, right? Now understanding, seeing the intelligence, see the eyes, see the mouth, the calculations. So it's sure you're saying how to put this all together. Now this is where the parting line center comes into all position location and string theory. Now let's go through all line centers. Let's go through purple. Now anything through purple is calculation modification to you inside, which is the sun, because it's in your position locations too. It's universe system. So It's all about understanding how to put everything all together through its connection, right? And you look at it, you got mass, M, okay? You got awareness, M-A, awareness, mass awareness, awareness of mass. See? It's interesting when you cross the signal locations. See? See that? AM, right? All right, see the structure in the background system? See how it travels? See the shapes? See the door? See that dimensional door setting, right? So everything I see is all levels of dimension. So it's a reflection, you see it, but to me it's not. It's everything through an image. And that's how the avatar lives, because it lives anywhere in a current timeline, which is it's now. So you come into the atmospheres, okay, mass, molecule, molecular, right? But it's amazing how you put shapes together, circle location to its connections of all levels of the alphabetical system of AM, right? AM, calculate all of the system. So you can have all these triangles and just scramble line center and have AM and PM in the same compilation line position. It's amazing how you set these things up, equation people, right? So I'm just showing you different ways where you can put the shapes, letters, and numbers and everything through symbols all together. It comes in modified location to its connections. So you can change the signal, which is all levels of sonar. Let's go into the rate graph line center, clearance line position location calculations. All right, so we changed it, right? Okay, changed it. So you can change all colors, right? But it's a different shape now. So if it's different shape, it's different sonar. Sonar comes in, right? See, the thing is too, it's not just shapes that have sonar, so does letters, numbers, and shapes. It's all about understanding sequence location. So you can have one factor here, you can have two factor here, you can have three factor here, you can have four factor here, you can have five factor here. There it is right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors right there, the triangles. Now, in position locations, we can change the one into highline center, which puts higher positions of 1, 1, dot, dot, 1, 1. There's the portal right there through calculation, right? So it's all about understanding that position locations, where that triangle goes in a higher line center, travels higher position locations all through its graph system. So let's go through purple position, right? So it goes into purple. There it is, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? Now that triangle line center, you can go through high line position location, set up a new sonar line center. This is where it comes into levels of theta waves in position location. See the theta waves come in, right? So it looks messy, but it's all in order. I'm just showing you what you can do with letters, numbers, and shapes and how you put everything in position locations of numbers, symbols, or anything connection of sonar or anything through its antennas of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm showing you how you can do these things through its equation. Times pi times square root, right? Balanced frequency location is all important to understand the system. But when you come into collaboration locations, it's incredible force when you see Jupiter and Neptune coming together. So, and it's all position locations, all levels of the sun. You know? All right, starting new cloud, new gear shift, sonic hedge. Yeah, Laza, high rising, up and away. Breathe, everyone. Breathe, drink your water. I basically calculations. Yeah. Had coffee the first time. That's good. Huge. We just made a triangle of an entire universe. Now that's fast. Yeah. You have to understand the sequence of occasions, how you go through your diamond core line center of the bender. Use north as always a reference, because if you don't know if you're going north, west, south, and east. Space is complicated because it's going extremely fast. That's why we use shapes. We use shapes because if you don't use shapes, where's your location? What's your intent, right? And that position location is all about acceleration, time sequence, time code, time factor. Time calculation and triangulation is its point system too. It's E equals MC squared, people. It's knowing how to travel to higher levels of triangles in your plateau interference, program location means calculations. But I think it's incredible when you go through all positions of a grass symbol. to a painting, to a canvas, right? So you guys have to learn how to identify and see things differently. How you see things as, well, you don't see things as numbers yet, but you will eventually when you understand more program setting. It calculates and modifies all levels of you to its avatar system, right? So illustrations are so alive. Yep, vibrations. I have witnesses. Yeah, Ember, how's it going? All right. How's everybody doing? Okay, let's see. We live in the now moment. Yes, well, now I can cruise at very high speed now. I can't sleep. Oh, pretty close. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're welcome. Love it. Yeah, it's fantastic to see this. I just want to show you other ways where the avatar goes faster through triangles. So that's how we stop things in space. We use triangles. So we don't stop space. We just use the shape to correlate what we need to use to the sun and the moon or anything connection. So it's all about line dividing. So you have the Earth perception in the center, and it's connected to each planet simultaneously, but you're always in the current location of all timelines of its position of its avatar system. So, yeah. Yeah. Z-graph, yeah. You can go through all level position line centers, balance interference line conditions, intelligent inner line center location, yeah. Knowing exactly what you're doing through your high system position. Yeah, it's a very powerful thing. Let's see, Lucy, how you doing? I'm lost. Why is there fourth time watching you and I don't understand? Don't focus on me understanding because you don't understand me, because the thing is you're trying to communicate with me. You have to communicate to the general through vibration. And that's how the rebellion and everything through the GFLs and the GFA try to understand their position, because they calculate and modify all levels of vibration from them to me. That's the way they use the mind telepathy. This is telepathy, people. You have to understand how to use it through accumulation, through everything through acceleration. That's the only way you can understand connections, right? Especially when you come into my galactic school. It provides you what you need to understand. The sequence location is all levels of its avatar system, people. But I showed you something very powerful that's connected to everything. So when I look around, I'm not just in all timelines. I'm seeing everything connected to me, which is connected to its equation, right? That's everything through situation. So practice makes perfect. Get into structure, get into flow. In position locations. Yeah, especially for the new viewers, make sure you're in activation mode. If you're not in activation mode, you can go to my live TikTok and I'll activate your system, okay? Because you won't understand it. It's too complicated. But I think it's fantastic when I see new people. All right. All right. So I'm going to take you guys out of the equation line center. You can't stay there because you'll be in this shape position. Change position line centers, all train line centers, back and ground line interference locations, all of the observers, take them out of Ryan's belt, calculation back in the ground at perception. Code signal location 011110 position telepathy interference. GFAs and position line conditions, send to GFLs, take them out of track line center, put them back in calculation modification to system. All right, you guys are back. Calculation modifications. Any questions, let me know. All right, I'll see you soon. Adios.